to another episode of the Women series, where we capture developments around the pandemic and its impacts on women. We begin with the story that the U.S. Agency for International Development, through its Office of Transition Initiatives, is supporting the training of women, mostly widowed or otherwise made vulnerable by the Boko Haram insurgency, to produce protective face masks to help protect the population from the COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria's conflict-affected northeast. The training program being carried out by professional tailors is targeting about 200 women in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, who are to produce 4,000 masks in a week's time from Ankara, a traditional fabric of the region, to both encourage the use of masks among the general population and increase local production. According to facts made available to Business Day by American Embassy in Abuja, the colorful wax print masks being produced are to be in various sizes for adults and children and in various layer designs. The first set of the masks produced under the program were presented to the Borno state government for distribution to the public at the popular Monday market in Maiduguri, where the use of face masks has been mandated. The masks were said to have been given to individuals who visited the market on 27th of April, while on April 23rd, a delegation of Borno state officials, including commissioners of Women's Affairs and Social Development and Transport, and officials from the State Incident and Prevention Control's COVID-19 Committee, visited the women at the Vocational Training Center. The government officials during the visit gave approval to the quality of face masks produced and appreciated the women's efforts to control the spread of the pandemic. We commend this initiative to provide our people with these washable and reusable masks for their health and safety. This program economically empowers widows and vulnerable women during the lockdown, and the masks help encourage people to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Zuwaira Gambo, Borno's Commissioner of Women Affairs and Social Development, said during the visit. The training is being implemented through USAID's Nigeria Lake Chad Basin program, and it also includes training in production of Ankara shoes and bags, as well as food processing. NCLB designed the activity well before the COVID outbreak, and we focused the training to respond to the urgent pandemic response in Borno. Through additional training, more cohorts of women are expected to produce another 50,000 masks in the coming weeks. Earlier on this week, the UN Women also delivered lifeline support to women's and grassroots organizations for COVID-19 response. In addition to the dramatic health crisis, the COVID-19 global pandemic has presented grave new threats to the critical work and very existence of local civil society organizations working on the front lines of crisis, making the need to mobilize support for their efforts more urgent than ever before. Women's organizations and activists are already on the front lines of COVID-19 response and should be an integral part of COVID-19 response and recovery efforts. Recognizing the imperative that these organizations are appropriately funded, UN Women announced its support to the critical work of grassroots women organizations through two innovative financing initiatives: the Women's Peace and Humanitarian Fund, to which UN Women provides board leadership and secretariat support, and the UN Trust Fund to end violence against women. From the start of this emergency, UN Women has been in close touch with grantees, civil society organizations, and activists around the world to identify measures to mitigate the pandemic's dire impact. These organizations make an extraordinary contribution to society, from response to widespread violence against women to the specific challenges that women and girls face in conflict settings. We must sustain them and meet their critical needs in these unprecedented times, said UN Women Executive Director Fumzile Mlambo Ngeuka. In partnership with the European Union and Spotlight Initiative, the UNTF EVAW would allocate an additional $9 million to up to 44 civil society existing grantees in sub-Saharan Africa to continue their essential work. The financial assistance will primarily focus on institutional strengthening, risk mitigation, and survival recovery in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic and the alarming high rate of increasing violence against women and girls. The new WPHF COVID-19 emergency response window will support civil society organizations with vital institutional and programmatic financing in 25 WPHF eligible countries facing conflict and crisis in 4 regions across the globe. With over 5,000 funding proposals already submitted by local women's organizations worldwide, this new instrument will drive urgently needed new resources to grassroots women activists working to counter COVID-19 in their crisis-affected communities. These additional funds are a recognition of the critical work of grassroots women's organizations and activists around the world and their key contributions to respond to the new challenges presented by COVID-19, leaving no one behind. And that brings us to the end of this episode of COVID-19 Women Series. Do connect with us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, with the details showing on your screen. You could also send me an email and share with me how you're coping during this period at programs@proshareng.com. Till next week, thanks for watching and please keep staying safe.